You know how Steppin with Marcus J. Thank y'all to everybody who is listening to us tonight. Thank you to everybody that's listening on TuneIn. Thank you to everybody that's listening to our replays on YouTube. I got to get a couple of comments out there. Said Ruben is listening to us. I meant to get Said's comment in a while ago. Said he actually liked the Shaquille O'Neal Notorious B.I.G. song that I played earlier, and so did which officially makes you outnumbered. And actually, Joe was digging it as well. So Michelle K is checking in. What's up, girl? It was good to see you at the Love Revolution event that we had on Saturday. So thank you for checking in with us. At this time of the show, every single week, we always profile a missing and or exploited child. This week is no different. This week we are looking for Markeisha Boyd. Markeisha Boyd has been missing since November 15, 2014, just last week. She's missing from Chesapeake, Virginia. She's a 16-year-old black female. She's got black hair and brown eyes. She stands 5'6", weighs 130 pounds. She was last seen November 15th wearing a black wig, black leather jacket, blue jeans, a leopard print scarf. She has a tattoo on her right wrist. She may in fact be in need of medical attention. If you have seen Markeisha Boyd, please contact the National Center for Missing and or Exploited Children on their website, missingkids.com. Contact the Chesapeake City Police Department at 757-312-0287 or contact 1-800-THE-LOST, 1-800-843-5678. As you know, every single week we profile these children, and we definitely want to see about getting them home. Ain't no how Steppin with Marcus J. We got the pregame, the newest addition to Legacy Internet Radio, in the building with us, and we're having heated discussions about all kinds of stuff. So Absolutely. It's definitely good to have the crew of the pregame here. Newest edition of Legacy Internet Radio will debut their show on Friday, December 5th, 2014 at 8 p.m., 8 to 10, every single Friday night. The newest addition to Legacy Internet Radio, the pregame, will, in fact, debut. We're going to continue our discussion tonight. You guys ready to get a little bit more crazy? Y'all ready to talk some more trash? Y'all ready, ready to get into it? All right. We're going to continue asking the question, what the hell? And I want Big Bro Joe on this one first. This one, man, I'm not sure how to go on. I'm getting this one from Gossip.com. This one is.
Yeah, what's funny, bro?
I'm sorry, man. You got it from Gossip, yo.
Yeah, okay.
It's terrible. Sorry.
Anything else you want to contribute to the show, Ruben?
Yeah.
Okay.
That Shaq song's still terrible.
Okay. Well, you're outnumbered. Right? But this one, fellas and ladies, is about a Throwback Thursday post on Instagram. Why would I want to talk about a Throwback Thursday post on Instagram on Ain't No Step with Marcus J with the pregame in the room? Well, this is why. This was a post that helped to get a former New York City police officer tossed from the department, and now she's filing a $5 million lawsuit. What is going on? Erica Rivera, 27, was fired from the force last August for dating a man with a criminal record after a 2-year investigation by the Internal Affairs Bureau that included questioning her about sex partners and secretly trailing her while off duty. Quote, "They treated me like a perp and took the job that I loved away from me," is what she said. In addition to her relationship status, cops also used evidence of her taking her cousin, a convicted felon, to a train station, as well as parking too close to a fire hydrant near her grandmother's building as part of their case against her to fire her. Her troubles began when she was a rookie on August 17, 2012. A woman walked into the 52nd Police Department in the Bronx and complained about a photo of her boyfriend, Danny Perez, that Rivera had posted on her Instagram. Rivera was called on the carpet by her commanding officer and explained the photo taken in 2007 was to celebrate, quote, Throwback Thursday. We all know what that is. She obviously objected when her commanding officer asked her if she was having sex with Perez. A month later, under questioning by Internal Affairs, she denied any information and she denied any contact with him. I think we got it appropriately set up. So here's the short version. Short version is you got a cop who dated a dude who's a felon. His girlfriend didn't like the fact she put up a Throwback Thursday pic, and this led to a chain of events that had her losing her job. What you think about that, big bro?
Oh, what do I think? I think that when you said live and let live, you can't. I'm sorry. It's hey, I just think that that's some nonsense. You mean to tell me they wasted taxpayers' money on something that had nothing to do? What, Rube? They wasted taxpayers' money on something that they could have been out finding somebody else who snatched up some kids or did something else that was real crooked. Just because the chick threw a picture up and the girlfriend got mad, yo, she need to check her own self and keep moving, man.
Big Rube, what you think, man?
I mean, first of all, yeah, I'm completely on the opposite side. She's stupid. You are a police officer. You are held to a standard that's higher than most people. Yes, it is.
Oh,
No, you just can't throw anything. You can't throw anything on your Facebook. You can't throw anything on your Instagram. Anything like that. That's just like, I'm gonna put it out there. Just like some guy who, like a teacher, putting a picture of him and a 16-year-old student on his Facebook. You can't do that. It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
But no, the thing about it is you just can't put stuff like that out there.
Well,
you cannot.
You can put
You're not supposed to.
You and Magic Johnson on your Instagram. That's what it come down to.
What you said.
I mean,
it's all. You know what that is? It all goes to brand. It all goes to brand. Let's be clear. It all goes to brand. For the company that I work for, the background check that I had to go through.
Yeah.
They went back and looked at my military records, and some of that stuff is blacked out. Do you know I had to go and get some paperwork saying that no, it was none of y'all business?
Yeah.
No, real talk. None of y'all business.
I understand that. That's just like a company I used to work for, a cell phone company I used to work for, who basically they put out a mandate that when the no text and drive thing came out, if you were to get a ticket, and the ticket included texting while driving, you were automatically terminated.
Was it in Virginia though?
Yeah, it was national.
Right, the work state still don't make no difference.
But that's the whole thing. It's just like you just can't do what you want to do depending on what your job is. Just like me, and this is whatever, in my work.
Disclaimer.
That's exactly what that was.
No, that's exactly what that was. Yeah, whatever. But no, in my work, I work with children. So I just can't put anything on my Facebook or my Instagram that I want. I can't even say stuff that I want to say that I really feel about something because you're right. Virginia's the right to work state. And you can get terminated. And last time I checked, New York is too. So you can just get termed for anything. But that's the whole point. You just can't, just because it's social media. Oh, it's Throwback Thursday. I'm gonna put a picture of me and my boyfriend who's been a convicted killer.
Yeah, can I ask a question? Before I just want to lay the groundwork.
Yeah, lay the groundwork.
What kind of picture was this? Was he in jail?
It was.
I can show you. It's right here.
It's right here. It's he's just chilling.
So because he's a felon, she's not allowed to associate with him.
But
because I just want to make sure I'm making the point.
Hold on, one at a time.
So what you're saying?
Into a mic, Joe. Into a mic.
There it is, right there.
Okay. Yeah, here's the picture right here. Okay. And just for the listeners who can't see my computer, it's a picture of her taking a selfie as a police officer.
Well,
this would be classified as a selfie, right?
But that's not the picture
I
you're talking
understand,
about.
Ruben. Let me set it up. This would be classified as a selfie of herself.
The current.
And this is a throwback picture of her and the ex. And it's as simple as, the two of them kind of sitting on the couch together. He's got his arm around her.
No felonious activity.
There's nothing felonious going on in this photo. There's nothing. It just looks like a guy and a gal together in a photo. There's nothing bad about this picture.
Yes, there's nothing bad about the picture.
One thing at a time, because I wanted this set up so that everybody understands what we're doing here. Can we agree that there's nothing salacious about this photo.
Nothing.
Okay, cool. Now you can make your obnoxious.
However, I mean, you call my point obnoxious, but you basically said, hey, here's some ammunition to go ahead and get rid of me. Because when it's all said and done, they use this and some other BS stuff to get rid of her.
Does that not?
That is what they did.
That is what they did.
Listen.
Grab the mic.
Hold on, real quick before you get in there. What they used was a chick who was threatened by the fact that
her boyfriend
was in a throwback picture. Mm-hmm. It was a complaint.
Well, she showed it to,
what it was.
but she showed it to the police.
Nothing to do with her job.
Hold on. But it did have something to do with her job now because her job used that. Because you don't know what kind of position she was in at that point. So she might have already been on the rocks, and they were looking to get rid of her anyway. So basically, when she did that, she handed
that's
the
a catapult. You got to look at it like this. That's a catapult. First of all, he's a felon. All right. So you're gonna She knew that when she took the picture.
All right, go.
As a person who has been through the process of trying to be a police officer and has gone through the process of the background screening, they ask you very specific questions of the people you've dated. They ask you all the way back. I'm talking about been through the screening process. I've been through the screening process. It took 6 months. And they literally wanted to know my middle school boyfriends. They ask you. They pull out mugshots. They pull out mugshots of my father, my brother. My brother's 40 years old. Things that I've never even seen. They ask you about your dating life. They ask you about your sexual life. Are you promiscuous? Then they make you take a lie detector test. Yes, seriously. And literally, if you left this boyfriend off of that application and then it comes out, you have lied because they do ask you your serious relationships of your past, and they will say the past 10 years. So if you've dated him within the past 10 years, and then you say, no, I've never dated a felon, or this person that I did date, he was not a felon, and then they find out you.
Is that what happened?
I'm not saying that that's what happened.
No,
but what
is that what happened?
But what I'm saying is they ask you that, and within that 10-year span, you literally have to list these people. You have to get their addresses current. You have to do this research yourself and turn all this stuff in.
I don't see anything wrong with that, but is that what happened?
It does not. The article doesn't allude to that. But what appears, the way you set it up, Joe, is I would tend to agree with you. I think the fact that the current girlfriend, was offended by the fact that she saw her current boyfriend show up in social media in a photograph. I don't think anybody cared when that photo was taken. It showed up on said date, and that is what was the catalyst that caused this chain of events that led to this girl getting her job taken away from her. Now we can all debate what the law is, and we can debate, whether the police officer, the police department rather, did the right thing by letting her go. I think she was kind of stupid for putting the picture up there. I don't think that it's a fireable offense. Me personally, I think it was kind of petty that they went through, like I think it was Joe that alluded to the tax. Was it you that talked about the tax? Somebody said something about taxpayer money and all of that kind of stuff. We went through all of that, to fire her. Now, if it's a question of integrity, I would be real curious, and this is what you alluded to, Ruben. Is there something else going on with this girl in her job as a police officer with regards to an integrity issue? Because I just have a hard time thinking it was just, a woman walking in. She was in the picture with my boyfriend, and that caused all this? Well,
she probably went in. She's in a picture with my boyfriend, who is a felon, which, well, whatever.
Good thing she isn't black, right?
Yeah, but I mean,
I'd
be willing to.
But here's the point.
Okay, go ahead.
She was smart enough to know that this will get looked at, and what exactly happened, IAB grabbed a hold of it. And when they get a hold of something,
I would be willing to bet, though, with all the police officers in the world, and I don't want to talk too much, about us personally, but, I would venture to say that most people know somebody that's locked up and ain't coming home, regardless of what the reason is. We won't have to get into that. Yeah. I know a few people ain't never coming home.
I got some pictures I can't put up on.
But it does say
Thursday.
Exactly. And so my point is, how many of those officers have those same types of stories of people that they know that just because you know somebody or just because you're in a paper, what if it was your brother or what if it was your sister or what if it was your dad or what if it was your mom? What if it was someone that's a close relation of yours who ain't ever coming home? I can't have a commemorative picture of my dad because he's gone forever. Yeah. I mean, that just something about that just don't feel right.
And I understand. And what it says is basically what happened was it got to IAB because that's what they do. They like to get rid of dirty cops because that's their purpose. And she acknowledged that they were intimate when they asked her, did she have a relationship with her? She acknowledged they were intimate, but had only dated him on and off for about 3 months and had no knowledge of his criminal record. However, she was clearly in a relationship with this dude. And she basically did not tell them the truth. Okay. And it became integrity.
If that's the situation, that's totally different. That's not what we've been talking about, is it, Big Joe?
That's not where we've been going.
What we've been discussing is that because this lady dated a felon, right? Or she took a picture, not dated. The problem is she took a picture, right, with a felon. Now she has to go. And if that's the argument, then
the problem was she reposted the picture on Throwback Thursday. Yeah, that's the point. But my thing is, why would you put yourself, I don't care if it's a Throwback Thursday, Wednesday, whatever, why would you put yourself out there on social media?
Because it was innocent. It was innocent.
And that's my point.
Like, it was just a crime.
It was innocent.
Depending on the job that you have.
She didn't commit a crime. She did something stupid. There's a difference.
That lie was long gone. Whenever she got the job, that's when she lied about that.
And you're right. And it does say that. It does say that. And then it also says that IAB found out she was also she was not truthful about some other dude. And that's why they turned her.
Okay, well, I mean, if those
that's an integrity.
You can't lie on your application.
You posted a picture of your ex-felon boyfriend.
Hold up, folks.
That's a totally different argument.
Hold up, folks. Like you said, Jane, earlier, when you go through the process, you got to list out everybody that you've been with since the day before you were born. And so when you do that, if this guy's name wasn't on the list of those people, then for me, and it's just my opinion, which don't mean nothing, but if it was me, I'm okay with her getting let go if she didn't disclose that she knew this dude. But if he's in that paperwork and the name, Craig Felony was already in that paperwork, and then that picture came up, then I'm like, yo, give me my $5 million city in New York.
What we're saying is that the picture alone should not be enough to have got her fired.
I agree with that.
Right. That's like any other job. That's like any job that you go to right now. If they sit there and say, well, have you ever got any felonies or do you have any misdemeanors or anything you've been charged with? Yeah. No, I take that back. It don't even say charged. It says convicted. And I just went through this for the position that I have. Yeah. They went back to look for stuff that I had even been charged for that you have to list. But the paperwork say convicted.
Yeah, you got to list the traffic tickets.
You got to list traffic tickets. I got a speeding ticket. So what? I like to drive fast.
Yeah, they do say that now.
Yep.
Traffic.
They do.
They get you for
even traffic offenses.
I made a right turn.
I used to walk. I used to work in the credit industry, and I remember when that used to come up, where you would look at that kind of stuff to determine if people were going to get credit. Like you can look and see, okay, I like to drive a little too damn fast. Getting a hit from Mr. LP, he's continuing to listen to us. He says some of the things they do when background checks are over the top and illegal, but they're hard to fight. So I don't know enough about the process to either confirm or deny that, right. But as far as this, I mean, we're gonna put a bow on this when we'll move on to another story. But as far as this is concerned, my opinion is if this was a guy who was not in her history with regards to her application and all of that kind of stuff, I had no problem with them letting her go, because then it becomes an integrity issue where she didn't keep it 100 with these people. But if they had the names and then all of us, because if they had the name, trust me, they knew he was a felon.
And they probably wouldn't have let her go.
And well, I mean,
but that doesn't hire her.
Hold on, let me finish this because I want to make this point and then I want to move on to something else. But
that's reason enough for me to lie. If I ain't gonna get the job, I'm gonna go ahead and lie
and take the chance.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the checks I can get.
Yeah, but see, if you do if you do that, you know, and like what Mr. LP was alluding to, you go ahead and you do that, and then your name ends up on the list. That can affect you when you apply for other things, because we can all sit here and we can talk about HIPAA if you're doing medical, and you can talk about privacy and all that kind of stuff. But we know these people talk to each other. Come on, man. They can't even keep your credit card safe at those places. They ain't paying us, so we ain't saying any names. But you know what I'm talking about. You know, so I again, the last word that we'll have on this, and we're going to move on, is if she lied prior, they didn't have her name, I had no problem with it. If it was, y'all knew who this dude was and you didn't like the picture, I say get this girl her $5 million city in New York, because, you know, y'all got it. Ain't no hashtag with Marcus J, live from the den of Legacy Internet Radio. Of course, we're the flagship show of Legacy Internet Radio. We are hosting our brand new edition, the pregame. They'll debut their show on Friday, December 5th, 2015 at 8 p.m. From 8 to 10, the pregame will air right here on Legacy Internet Radio. However it is you're listening to us right now, live, of course, you can hear that show. Thank you to those folks listening to us on TuneIn. Thank you to everybody that hit our website. And, of course, a special thank you to those folks that are listening to our replays on TuneIn. They don't have Step with Mark J. All right. This one's going to be a little bit uncomfortable, but I want ladies out on front on this one, and you'll understand why in a minute. We talking about breaking the internet and Kim Kardashian's ass. And again, you guys are just getting used to me, and I'm just getting used to y'all. It's never what it seems when I ask a question. It's just not. When you think you have the answers, I change the questions. Yes, I stole that from Roddy Piper. So basically, I don't really care about Kim Kardashian's ass.
But it's a nice.
Well, it's not. Not to me, it's not.
I
I just don't get the Kim Kardashian thing. Maybe I need a new prescription. But anyway, why is it that we care about Kim Kardashian? And I want to get the fellas in on this one, but I'm gonna connect it to another article that I saw, and this is the reason why I want the ladies in on this first. So, ladies, I'm gonna talk to y'all, and then I want to bring the fellas back in. So. Either of you jump in the alligator arms that we're having with the mics right now. I'm gonna need y'all to jump out and grab the mic.
Oh, I'm waiting for the question.
Come on.
That was the poll?
Yeah.
Oh,
what do we think about this break the internet Kim Kardashian ass thing?
I don't care about Kim Kardashian's ass, and I'm not sure why anyone else cares about it. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's a waste of time. It's crazy. It's. Janelle, you go first.
Ghana yet. Broke the internet, ain't reached Ghana yet.
I care very, very deeply about Kim Kardashian and her ass. I think, I do. I think Kim is a pioneer of sorts. I think that, I'm being honest, I think that Kim turned her negative to a positive and has capitalized tremendously, whereas women have been sharing, giving away the ass and have nothing to show for it. Kim is paid ridiculously. She's paid. And for all these women she's a mother and da-da-da. I know mothers who give neck with the baby sitting right in the bed. Oh, he sleep, he all right, and I'm sorry I said that, but it's true. Don't knock Miss Kardashian for capitalizing. She had a sex tape. It got leaked, whether it was Kim or Ray J, whoever leaked it, and it skyrocketed her. And not only did she come up, but she brought her family up, and they're all set for the rest of their lives and their kids and their kids' kids. And it may not be what you agree with, but her and her oily booty is paid, and so, I ain't mad at it. It's not my choice. It's not my preference, but. I cannot knock her hustle. I respect it. I can appreciate it, and I feel like she can teach a class.
Here's the second wrinkle that I'm going to add to it. I'm bringing the fellas in. I want to finish up with the ladies first, and then I'll bring you guys in, because we talked about this last spring. There was a picture that circulated around the internet of a young sister, Chocolate, real pretty. Breastfeeding, and she kind of broke the internet because people had all kinds of opinions about that, including us here on Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J. actress Alyssa Milano, who recently had a baby in September, shared a picture of herself breastfeeding on Instagram this week. And she is noting that the people seem to have a negative reaction to her. Quote, "Wait, I don't get it. No disrespect to Kim, but people are offended by my breastfeeding selfies and are fine with her amazing booty cover." So I wanted to interject that the difference between the breastfeeding photo and the, as you say, oily ass photo. The reason why I wanted, because I want the ladies' opinion about that, because we talked at length about the breastfeeding and how it just made a lot of people uncomfortable. People didn't want to see, and to this day, you go to a restaurant and the woman decides to feed her child and may or may not be discreet with it. People going to be all up in arms, but these might be the same people that see Kim's oily ass and may not have a problem. So either of you guys jump in here, address that.
Listen, this is the problem that I have with this, and I guess I have a biased opinion on this, and I'll never deny this. I'm not the most modern woman. I'm very traditional in a lot of ways, and I come from a place and a time where one of the big... where one of the biggest things that you have as a woman, one of your greatest... That's great. One of the biggest claims to fame, to use a turn of phrase, that you have as a woman is this thing that you have, it's sacred. It's because you have this power just by being a woman. It's by being a woman, the form that you have as a woman. A lot of men crave that. And because of that, it's powerful. It's nothing to be displayed just frivolously. It's nothing that you just put out there and expect people to be okay with that. I think we're living in a world that more and more is becoming acceptable, that this is a way for you to climb the ladder to fame, that it's okay for you to realize your American dream by exposing something that was meant to be very sacred. And this is just my opinion on it, but I don't agree with it. I think it's very, very sad that we live in a world now where young girls are going to grow up looking at this and thinking that, you know what, it's okay if I can't pass in school. It's okay if I can't become a medical doctor. I have a nice ass. That's how I'm going to make my money. I'm going to be like Kim Kardashian. I'm going to put oil on it, and I'm going to take some pictures, and that's all I need. That is very, very, very wrong. What it does is reduces the woman to just your body. It teaches you that that's all you have, that's all you'll ever be able to offer. And I'm not in agreement with that. I completely disagree. It's not, it's absurd.
Kim Kardashian's not just an ass. There are 10 million women more beautiful than Kim Kardashian naturally. Kim Kardashian is the absolute best marketer and businesswoman there is around, period. Who cares how she gets her money? That's what you...
I care, and that's what I have a problem with, is that we're making it, and because we've bought into this idea, and it's very idealistic, that, it's fine as well as you're able to market and as well as you're able to, promote and make money off of it. We live in a world now where it's all about the money. And no morals don't matter anymore. Good raising and charity and chastity, none of that is important anymore as long as you're making money. It doesn't matter how she's making it. She's making bank, and so it's okay.
I'll speak from experience. Okay. 2 points. First point, I quit my job today making great money because I'm tired of it. And if I would have stayed, I would have made stupid money, but I don't want to make stupid money. So you're talking to somebody who doesn't believe in the power of money. You're also talking to somebody who would post pictures of his fiance naked if she was rich too.
I haven't seen him.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him. I've been waiting.
I find it. I find it absolutely okay, and more than that, I'll go even further. I find the beauty in my fiance stunning, and I want everybody to see it. Now, I might be different, but that's me. So the idea that somehow she is pushing sexuality as though that's something negative, no. I find my fiance beautiful, and if it weren't for the fact that she has to go to the bank downstairs, downtown, you guys know me, I would be bragging on this woman all the time. So the idea that Kim Kardashian is doing it just for fame and money, I disagree. I think she likes to live that way, and I think there's nothing wrong with living that way. So,
#Steppin Marcus Jay. We have a familiar caller rejoining the show, Mr. LP. What you got, my brother?
Yes, I want to offer 3 things here. And as a guy who's who runs a talent group with women in a variety of different things in the fashion world. I want to put it out there. People forget, and those who may not know, Kim was already well known in the industry as a model and an interior designer and everything else. It's just that the tape made it out to be her to be the mask. But anybody ever heard of Sarah Bartman or anything of that nature because of how exploiting your body is just the wrong way?
She was the African woman,
manner.
with the yeah. We know who Sarah Bartman was. We know who Sarah Bartman. Go ahead, I'm with you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. And then, in addition, look at it from this point. Just because someone's making money off of it doesn't exclude that is right. Because if you use that as an excuse, then you're gonna open the floodgates when you use that linchpin and say it is okay to do. It is just not something right to do. And now you're setting an example. And the third thing I want to offer this as a caveat. Notice how she's out, and Kim Kardashian is not a size 2, 3, 4 size woman. She is obviously a thicker, but more plus size. But it always seems to be okay of her size because she is a Caucasian background, but let it be a black woman of that size or things like that. And if she a woman of any ethnicity rise to that same thing? No. And we have to look at that from a standpoint.
We can dig it, Mr. LP. Thanks again for checking back in, and keep listening, man.
I think what we're missing here is that obviously it's supply and demand. It's what's here is that sex sells. That's what the truth is about this. Sex sells. If we weren't buying it, she wouldn't be selling it. You know what I mean? If we didn't all want to see Kim K, if we didn't all pay or watch her show, then she wouldn't have a reason to do it. The reason why Kim Kardashian is getting naked and showing her body and is breaking the internet is because it's what we have shown her that we want to see. So the problem isn't Kim K. The problem, if there is a problem,
but you know what it is?
Is the consumer.
And when I say we, I don't mean black people. I just mean we as consumers seem to eat up the bullshit. Like we eat up Basketball Wives and we eat up, the other stuff. I can't think of all the names.
Love and Hip Hop.
All the reality TV shows.
We eat that up, and we eat up, negativity and all of that kind of stuff. And all you have to do is show a hint of drama and negativity, and we all over it. Like this weekend when the Aaliyah movie came on, which I watched some of it. I haven't finished it. I started it, I haven't finished it. But I'll be honest with you, I came away from it thinking it wasn't that bad. I mean, the way.
Yeah, everybody said it was terrible.
Okay, everybody said it was terrible. But the point that I'm making is, all y'all did. You people who hated the movie with your memes, and yes, a lot of the memes were funny, but what you did was you made these people even more money. Right. Because you had people like me that said, damn, it's that bad? Let me look at it. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of what the Kim K thing is. I mean, she got this reputation for having this fat ass and all of that kind of stuff, but if you a black man growing up in Pick Your Hood America, you seen that ass already. I ain't never seen nothing special about Kim Kardashian. I just don't get it. And like you said, you got all of these followers and all of these wannabes who want to be famous. And they want to, jump into that world and think that it's great. And then you got the dudes that want to see the ass and you got the girls who want to have it. And I just think that it's kind of silly, to be honest with you. And I agree with you, sister, when you said that you're training these young girls to think that I have to show my assets, to get attention, which is not the case. I got an 11-year-old girl at home, and I'm trying to train her to use her mind. So every time I tell her how beautiful she is, before I said that, I tell her how smart she is.
Right. And I think it's important to make this point to say that I think it's anti-progressive, and that's why it bothers me is that we, in this new age today, that the people think that the thing to be is to be, I've seen on Instagram, I've seen on a lot of different social media where a lot of women think now that the definition of women power is to be completely free, to completely let yourself hang loose, just be whatever you want to be. It's okay. And it's not just, restricted to women. And it's the problem with that is that it leaves nothing to be sacred anymore. And as human beings, we need that.
You may.
I think that as we're developing, as a species, that we need to get over these things that now are ideal. Like, I need to get my thoughts together. This whole thing makes me so upset that I can't even speak on it. I can't be articulate about it because I'm so angry that there are young girls all over this world that are seeing this picture, and this is what they are going to aspire to.
Where's their foundation? Where's their support? Where's their family? Kim Kardashian's picture
Their
should be raising
family,
them.
the mom is at home, and this young girl is at school, and one of her classmates is showing this to her.
Can we get to the why is this a problem? I want to say the idea that it's who's making these rules that with Kim K. Let's assume Kim K. isn't the consummate marketer or businesswoman or absolute great philanthropist. Who's making these rules that she's not supposed to be able to be naked and be who she wants to be? You know what I'm excited about? That we live in a world that's okay now. You know, and she can do that and be positive. She's an absolutely positive person. There's nothing negative
What's positive about her ass being out and hanging out?
I tell you, here's the question. Here's the question. What's not positive? What's negative? That's
because her asses, and I guess maybe it all boils down to what your values or your beliefs are.
Well, let's turn it back to what you say. Hold on. You made
a
valid point, sister. Listen to what you said. And the fellas, I think the fellas said it best when they said, but where are the role models for those young women that they had to begin with? Where are their mothers and their fathers and their sisters and their brothers and their family and their village? Kim Kardashian means not a damn thing to nobody. She doesn't mean anything.
I would agree with that if we didn't live in a world that was inundated with social media, where everywhere you turn around, this stuff is very easy to access.
You know who raises my children?
You know I did. But that's a good argument, Joe, and I know how strongly you feel about that, but where I get lost when people make that argument is we can sit here and say all we want. I raise my kids going to do what I tell them to do, all that kind of stuff. And that may be true, but we also know that there are outside forces that you may not be in control of.
Right. Here's okay, but Kim Kardashian's title is entertainer. It's not role model. It's not mother of the universe. It's not females follow me. That's not what it is. Her job is to entertain. That's what she's paid for. Yep. So, and the parents' job is to raise their children. Let's stop. And this is something that happens all the time with the athletes. And every time somebody does something wrong, Tiger Woods. Oh, I'm no longer a Tiger Woods fan. I'm no longer a Michael Vick's fan because something that they've done in their personal life. My problem is that it's not their job to be our role models. You know. It's not their job to raise our children. They're here to entertain us.
It's very aloof. We're talking about realistically the fact that this is something that's everywhere. It broke the freaking internet.
Well,
I mean, did we not establish that? You can't keep your kids away from this. There's no way that you can shield them from this.
But
this idea is out there. Let me tell you something. Kids, when they go through an identity crisis when puberty hits, and when kids go through an identity crisis, the most influential people in your lives, regardless of how guarded you are with your children, are their peers. This is a scientific fact. So they are going to come into contact with this stuff. They live in a world where everyone, maybe except you, is telling them that this is powerful. This is, as a woman, this is your claim to fame. If you have a big ass, oil it up, put a picture of it on Instagram, and that's your claim to fame. I disagree with
hold on. But the thing I have a fundamental issue with is that, Joe's like, I raised my kids. Everybody's like, you have kids, you raise your kids, stuff like that. Your kids get 10, 11, 12. Let's just be honest. I mean, I don't have any kids. All the kids I quote unquote raise, is like 2,000 that I see every year. But it's just the point whereas you can't be there with them every time. All you can do is hope that the values that you instilled in them will lead them the way that you want them to go. Because if you really think, I mean, let's be real. I'm still learning from my parents all the time, but really, I mean, I'm going to throw out a number. Really around like 6, when you start realizing that the world is really out there and you're starting meeting friends and you're talking and stuff like that, that's when, unfortunately, the parent has to let go and be like, I've taught you everything I could teach you right now. You got to go experience it yourself. I'm not saying that parents don't stop teaching, but I'm saying that, you know, yeah, this picture, whatever, to me is not very flattering. It's whatever. It's a butt. It is what it is.
Wow.
You know,
Yo,
I'm not saying she's not cute. I'm just saying it just is what it is.
Yo,
Kim Kardashian's never done anything for me either. But the thing about it is, you know, I look at this and I'm like, okay, whatever, it's a picture. You know, if I was 10, I'd be like, wow, you know, whatever. But what happens is you go back to the basic instincts that you learn.
Why is she assuming responsibility for everybody's kids?
Right.
Well, I mean, and you're right, and she shouldn't.
Get to live.
And she shouldn't.
Adults get to live.
I don't know.
Get y'all kids, man. What
Right.
the hell is going on?
Now here's my thing. Let's stop pretending that Kim K invented sexy. This isn't what she's doing. Has already been done. This isn't the first time someone's taken a nude photo.
Yeah.
And guess what? It didn't break the world. We continue to evolve. We continue to have women who dress in suits. We continue to have conservative, traditional women. It's not the end of the world, folks, that Kim K decided to take off all her clothes. Enjoy this moment so we can move on to the next one. And I would celebrate the next woman decided to. Miley Cyrus just swung on a ball, naked.
Yeah. Can I add to that?
Sure.
This whole idea, this goes to the idea that, you know, black people are regressing, right? I feel the same thing about women. Women aren't regressing. There are more women in corporate America than there have ever been. There are more women in schools. There are more teachers. There are more head of churches and head of states. The Germany chancellor or president or whatever you call her. There are more women in power than there have ever been.
And
the
do you
idea
know
that
why
Kim,
those women are where they are? And I
Why?
hate to interrupt you, is because they understood at some fundamental age in their lives, they understood that their power laid somewhere else, that it wasn't in your body.
But wait. But why is that? Why is that a problem? Why? Let's because I think that's what we're missing. Can we argue that point? Why is it a problem that you decide to use your? And again, let me just correct everybody. Kim Kardashian is not a sex model. She's a businesswoman who's much more successful than the average woman in life, period. So can we just get that off the point? But let's just assume she's just some sex symbol. Why is that a problem? Some people decide to be sex symbols. Some people decide to be heads of state and go after the Germany head of state. Some people decide to be Hillary Clinton. Some people decide to be a pastor of a church. Some people decide to be a bum or a drug addict. Those are the decisions we make individually. Just like you said, we're not accountable to everybody. And her value is her value. I think the reason why he said that he raises his kids is because his values get instilled into his kids. Kim Kardashian's values is her values, and that's okay with somebody like me and perhaps not okay with somebody like you, but that should be okay with you, that you're not like everybody else.
And that's fine. And all of that is very, very nice and dandy if we lived in a world where we had that much control. I think that it is absurd for you to assume that just because you have this ideal of raising your kids right and instilling your values and your morals in them, that they are not going to be exposed to something that broke the internet.
But nobody said,
Why
I
is
don't
that
think
a-
anybody ever said that, though. I mean, I don't.
Because no,
I didn't say
AJ
that.
made the point of saying that. I'm sorry, Pete made the point of saying that it is an individual decision. That, you know, this is something that she decided as just one woman. I'm going to put this picture out there, and it shouldn't affect you. The point that I'm making is that I'm a grown woman, so I'm not affected by it. I looked at it.
Obviously, you are, because you feel so passionate. You are really affected by it. It's bothering you. It's bothering your soul.
It really is, so much so that I can't even speak straight, because I think the kids.
I understand.
I think there are a lot of impressionable young women out there who
understand where you're going.
unfortunately don't have a voice of reason, who unfortunately don't have the support of anyone telling them that, honey, this is not the only thing that you have. This is not the only way to make your money.
I understand why you feel that way, because I tend to agree with you and I share your passion, because I think what the fellas are missing that you're saying and what you're missing what they're saying, I think I'm going to translate it, is why do we celebrate the negative? Like, I don't see, you know, when we said earlier there's nothing wrong with it, right, true. But there's nothing right with it either. You know,
Why
and so
is it breaking the
and
internet?
why does
That's
it
my
why does it
point.
break the internet that Kim Kardashian decided to bare her body? And so I agree with you on that. But what the fellas, I believe, are saying is, okay, so she showed her ass, everybody sees it, and people are going to see it, which is going to add to her bank account. What's the problem? Now, what Steven is saying is, why does it have to be about the money? Is there any morality there? Why can't we do something else to make that money, Jay?
Listen, I think we're habit here. We're taking stuff out of the context of what it's in. For example, football, a very violent sport, right? But we all enjoy watching someone else try to take another person's head off, right? That's art. These are football players are essentially artists, and that's their art. What Kim K is an artist, right? Who's showing off her art. Like, think about all the different art we've seen. Art depicts all types of scenes, right? People getting massacred, and we all celebrate because we don't take it out of the context of what it is. But for whatever reason, because Kim K is a woman, now it's, oh my God, look at how all women are doomed now. You know, look how this is going to influence all women. It's an artist expressing their art.
Because it broke the internet.
That's what
happens.
happens.
That's great art.
That's what happens. Look, somebody used the word moral a bunch of times. Morality is subjective.
She went to go search cable and Kim Kardashian came up.
Morality is subjective, ladies and gentlemen. It's subjective. I don't get up and pray anymore. I don't know why. I just don't. I'm not religious anymore. My father would think that was reprehensible. I'm not going to get my child christened anymore. My father would say, you were raised better than that. I'm going to say, no, I'm smarter than that. I don't choose to follow the way that my father taught me. He gave me a good tool and a good book to follow, and now I follow my own book and my own logic by listening to other people's advice. So again, morality is subjective. Who cares what Kim K finds attractive and moral, because that's okay for her and that's all right with me as well. It's okay for girls to want to be that. There is nothing wrong with her at all.
This
is like the argument with gay men. Like,
what do you think if there's any silver lining at all
with the picture?
Yes. What is the message? The positive message the young girls can grasp.
I give my young girls more credit than a statement from a picture. Let's get that off the table. If my child was 7 years old, I would give her clarity and context. So it's not just the picture. But again, to answer your question, I'm sorry. She took a picture and she was nude. Mm-hmm. Boom. That's it.
But why is this picture? Why are we having a conversation about? Why are we having a conversation about?
Right. Your 7-year-old daughter who you raised
you're not going to like my answer.
Came to you and said, "Daddy, Kim Kardashian put this picture online, and apparently it broke the internet. What's the big deal about it? Why is it so important? Why is it so famous? What is your answer? Because you can't protect.
You know what? You can't.
Someone at school showed it to her.
So why are you having this discussion about this nude adult picture? Which Kim K didn't put this picture there for 7-year-old girls. That's not irrelevant.
That does not negate the fact that she saw it.
Barb, you're not going to be able to answer the questions of the world. You're just not.
How about this?
I understand. I'm talking specifically about this case scenario where your daughter comes up to you and asks you this question.
And asks me what?
Man, what do you say to her when
she says,
I feel like Daddy, why is this picture so valuable?
I feel like
I'm going to break the internet.
You know what I feel like right now? I feel like the dude that starts a fight and then runs across the street and watches it.
You started.
I started it. I set it up because I got y'all, man. I think that I think that this is one of those situations we're gonna have to agree to disagree in the interest of time, because we're not gonna come to a consensus. I understand where you're coming from. I tend to disagree with you. I think I think that our relationship is going to be such that we're going to probably disagree a lot, which is good. I think disagreement is better than agreement, because you cannot grow if you always agreeing with what people say all the time. And that, to me, is paramount. Right. And that's something that we preach here at Legacy and Net Radio. The fact that we can have open dialogue, the fact that we can have intelligent dialogue, the fact that we can have fun, we can agree to disagree without being disagreeable, and still come back and give each other the bro hug and the sister bro hug. And so, so I'm definitely glad that we can do that. Now I'm going to change directions. I want to move off of Kim because I got one more thing that I want to introduce, and then we're going to get us the hell on up out of here.